So this home remodeling company likely makes around $1 to $2 million per year, but they should be making, in my opinion, $5 million per year plus. And I'm going to talk about the missing piece to get them there. So let's get right into it. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Munir. I am the co-founder of Vipsa Studio. We are a local service marketing agency. We've worked with over 100 home service clients for local SEO marketing, and we've proudly generated over $12 million in revenue for all of our clients. If you go to our website, you'll see all of our case studies right here. So let's jump right into it. So the company I was referring to was a company called Phoenix Renovation. They are a renovation company based in Atlanta, and this is their homepage. So the goal is to get them ranking higher on Google so that they can get more jobs through their website. And I believe that they can add from 2 to 3 million to their bottom line every year just through this one marketing channel. So the current situation is that they're on the bottom of page 2. If you were to search for home remodeling Atlanta, their website shows up here, and you can see they're at the bottom of page 2, and they are not showing up on the Google Maps section at all. So what that means is that if I search for home remodeling Atlanta, I don't find them in this section here at all, which is a big source of leads. So if they were to improve these two things and keep sales and fulfillment running smoothly, they can add at least $1 million to their bottom line. So I'm going to go through the homepage and just note down a few things that I see that they can just improve so that they can slowly get their website ranking higher. So when I load into phoenixrenovations.net, you're going to see that it says not secure over here, and it's going to say that your connection to the site is not secure. So this means that there is no SSL certificate on this website. This is a big factor when it comes to ranking on SEO. So these guys need to talk to some developer to get that fixed on their website. The next thing that I like to do when I go through any website is use this extension called the detailed SEO extension. If you search for it here, if you just search for detailed SEO Chrome extension, you'll find the Chrome store. So I always download this, and this makes it very easy to basically spot the main SEO themes very quickly on the website. So if I go to the homepage and I press on the detailed SEO Chrome extension, you're going to see it gives me the page title, which Google looks at, and the page meta description. So what you're looking for is to have the word home remodeling company and the name of the city in the page title, which they have done right here. And you're looking for the same thing in the description. So they've done that here as well. So you can see right here, it says that the page is indexable, meaning that it's found on Google, which is good, which is what we want. And then the next thing I like to do is click on headings right here. And this shows all of the headings on the website. So this latest project is a heading, this our process is a heading. So if I go back to the headings, what we're looking for in simple terms, so there's different categories of headings. Like the H1 is like the main title of the website or the page. Then the H2 is like the subcategory, and the H3 is a subcategory of that, and so on and so forth. So what we're looking for each page is to have at least one H1, so one main category header. And in that, we're looking to have at least the words home remodeling Atlanta, which we don't have at the moment. So this is one thing that they could do to easily improve the rankings on their website. In general, the section looks pretty good. When I go through it, it says producing high quality work. After a second, the text kind of goes away, but it's a nice slider, so it's pretty good. Once I go down, you're going to see it says latest projects, and this is pretty smart to put the latest projects pretty high up on the page. It's because they know that most people, whenever they go on a home remodeling website, the first thing that they want to see are the projects. So you can see the different projects that they have, and if you click into it, it'll link to, I'm hoping, is all the photos of that project. So that's what they have right here. And this is really good. I see a lot of home remodeling websites, they just have a big gallery of different projects scattered. This is a much easier way to kind of understand a whole project. So I would always recommend having project galleries on home remodeling websites. So I heavy approve of this. There is the our process section. So this section is a bit long, as you can see right here, and like the text wasn't really showing. So this is something we need to fix. You know, having photos of the team or anything else to kind of break this text would help just the general user experience. They have photos of the team here, which is really good. This text is a bit hard to read, and they have good social proof, and they're also proudly showing that they're on the Greater Atlanta Home Builders and on this association as well. So you want to show that you kind of are in the community and you're out there, you can be trusted. Maybe I would even put these logos kind of at the top because people like trustworthy logos high up on the website. One thing that we like to do here is use this tool called Surfer SEO, and you can make these things called content editors, where it basically judges your content and how likely it is to rank based on the existing websites that are ranking. So I just made this content editor for Atlanta home remodeling, which is what I would want this page to rank for. So what I can do is I can just copy all the content right here, and then I can paste it in. And then what it's going to do is that it's going to give me a score based on their competitors. So if I see here that their competitors have anywhere from 1,600 to 1,800 words, and this page only has 630. So we clearly have a gap right there. You're also going to see that their competitors mention all of these topics on their main pages. They talk about Atlanta home remodeling, they talk about bathroom, the remodeling industry, outdoor living spaces. So we're looking to at least incorporate these ideas or topics into the homepage of the website so that my content could at least compare to the competitors. And if you remember, we were talking about the H1. If I was to just add an H1 on this page and just have it just say Atlanta home remodeling company, you're going to see that it's instantly going to improve the score to 34, whereas before that, it was just sitting at 17. So you can just see how important it is to have a singular H1 on the page that has the main keyword that we're trying to target. So if I was to try to get this page to rank higher, I would also maybe include an FAQ section at the bottom because I don't want to overload the page with so much content. And in that FAQ section, I would make it collapsible. So as people click on each question, it reveals the answer so that it's not too long. And then I would add in a lot of these questions and answers or incorporate these words into that FAQ section to kind of improve the score right here and kind of get it near at least 64, or at least a bit higher than that ideally. Another thing I would add is kind of more call to action buttons. So I would add like maybe like a button here that says request a quote or, you know, call now, especially on mobile. It's very important to have these buttons on the website like call now. You'd be surprised most people actually use these websites on their mobile device. So when I load up the website on mobile, you see it's not very easy for me to call them because if I'm a person who likes to have conversations on the phone for or a remodeling business just to book an appointment, it's not very easy for me to do that right here. There's no really button to do that. I have to do this. Let's get in touch. The next thing I would look at to have them ranking on higher on Google so that they can make more money is look at their service pages. I always look to see if they have a dedicated page for each service in each city. So you can see right here that they actually don't. They just talk about home, portfolio, our process, our team, and testimonials, but they don't have a page of, you know, home building, kitchen remodeling, bathroom remodeling. I don't really know each service that they do. So this is a problem because when someone wants to search for kitchen remodeling in Atlanta, you're going to notice that Google only shows specific pages talking about kitchen remodeling in Atlanta. It's not going to show the home remodeling page for Atlanta. And it's the same for, you know, bathrooms. If I was to search for bathroom remodeling in Atlanta, I'm only going to get specific bathroom remodeling pages. So that means that if I want this company, Phoenix Renovations, to at least have a chance to show up for bathroom remodeling or kitchen remodeling, I need to make all these pages as well and do the same process as I did with Surfer. I need to open up a new content editor and make sure that the content is suffice so that it has a high enough score so that it can actually rank. If I go through their portfolio page, this looks really nice. There's like a nice filter. So it seems that these guys like to do new home builds, which is really good. And you can click into it and see all the different projects. There's also the art process. So a lot of people, especially when you do higher, bigger remodeling jobs, people actually want to know your process. So having this shows that you at least have a process in place so people know what to expect before they contact you. So I always recommend having this type of page on the website, and this looks pretty good. There's also the Meet Our Team. So this page I actually really like. I like having photos of faces of the team on the website because people want to know who they're going to work with before they reach out and talk to them. And they want to know who's going to be in their house managing their project while they're there. So having photos of the team is really good. So these guys did a good job here. Testimonials, these are text testimonials, which are not bad. However, people subconsciously know that this could be easily faked. So what I've seen from other remodeling websites is they actually have video testimonials of their past clients talking about the service and how good it was on these types of pages. So that's what I would do. So this is a sample bathroom remodeling contractor. You can see he has video testimonials like this. They're not very long and they're kind of simple. They're shot with an iPhone. They're nothing crazy. And it's just real people in the real city talking about their real experience. So it's really important to have these on the website. Then they have a simple let's get in touch, which is their contact form. So this is also good. They ask enough questions to be able to kind of qualify the lead before they really do a lot of work. So overall, the look of the website is good. They did a really good job on the portfolio and on the process, but the reason they're not showing up as high on Google is because they don't have the foundation of like having only one H1. They don't have enough content on each page, and they need to make a lot more service pages for all of their services and in each city. So now moving off the website, I'm going to look at this tool called Ahrefs, and I'm going to put in the URL of the website right here, and I'm going to see a bunch of different numbers and stats. So this is called the DR. This is called a domain rating, and this basically is a number scale from 0 to 100 that describes how strong the website is. You know, how likely is it to rank on top of Google for anything. So you're going to see if I search for home remodeling Atlanta, and I look at the number one company right here, which is this company called Atlanta Design Build, you're going to see that their DR is going to be a lot higher. This company is 3.8. Their competitor is at a 6. So they're not actually too far off, but because they have a higher DR, they have an easier time showing up on Google. This is another one of their competitors. They're called Copper Sky Renovations. You know, they show up right here, third, and you can see that they have a domain rating of 34. So there is a pretty big gap here. So these guys have invested in SEO that actually allows them to show up this high on Google to get leads. The next thing I'm going to look at for Phoenix Renovation is this graph right here. So this orange line is just a prediction of their organic traffic. So how much organic visitors are they getting to their website every month? So lately it's been on a decline, which is not great. So that means that maybe they're not showing up as high lately. And this blue line I look at is the number of referring domains. So we're going to talk about backlinks in a second and explain to you what it is and why why it's important. So if I want to see all the keywords that this company ranks for, what I could do is I can press on organic keywords right here. Then this is going to show me every single keyword that this website shows for, as well as their position. So right now it's showing me that this company, Phoenix Renovation, was actually showing up for home renovation Atlanta. They were actually 9th, but they actually lost that, which is not great. They show up for Phoenix Home Construction, but that's kind of the name of their business. So anyone who searches for the name of this company likely knows who they are. But you can see they actually had a lot of rankings from 10, 12 for these really good keywords like Atlanta Renovations, Atlanta Home Remodeling, and they actually lost it. So it seems that they were actually doing well, but recently the rankings went down. And if I click on this button right here, I can actually see the last 2 years of how they were showing up here. So you can see in the last 2 years, they were showing up 10th, 9th, and then recently, I don't know what happened on October 23rd, maybe they updated their website and made a bad change, but now they're no longer showing up. So this is something kind of alarming for me. That means maybe there was some change that stopped them from showing up high on Google. Ideally, we want them to be number 1, and they were kind of close. They were 9th, but clearly something happened. So you're going to see here that most of the keywords are just remodeling company Atlanta. However, if I look at one of their competitors, Atlanta Design Build, you're going to see that they're likely going to show up for a lot more keywords, probably because they just have a lot more pages. So you see the other company, Phoenix, had only showed up for 83 keywords. These guys show up for 468 keywords. So you see here, they show up for home remodeling Atlanta, and they are 2nd, but you can see here, they also show up for bathroom remodeling in Marietta, GA, and they actually show up 1st here, and that's because they made that specific page for this. So if you're able to make a specific page for a specific keyword, your chances of ranking are a lot higher. Same thing for home additions. They show up 1st there. So in general, when you make more pages, you are likely going to show up for more keywords because Google can tie different keywords to different pages on your website. If you have a bathroom remodeling page on your website, you're more likely to show up for bathroom remodeling. And that's the same thing for kitchen. Even if you have different cities and you have specific pages for a specific service and smaller cities, these help you show up higher on Google for those keywords. So if I was the owner of Phoenix Renovations, I would actually search for home remodeling Atlanta, and I would go through all of my competitors' keywords and see if they are ranking for any keyword that I also want to make a dedicated page and rank for that as well. So if Phoenix Renovation also offers bathroom remodeling in Marietta, then I would make a page specifically talking about bathroom remodeling in Marietta as well. So if a potential lead searched that, I'm going to show up there and I could capture that lead as well. So I would rinse and repeat and do that for all of these competitors and go through all of their keywords to note down every single combination, city and service and page that I would need to make. The next thing I would want to look at are the backlinks. So a backlink is just any website that links out to Phoenix Renovation. So we can see here, this is called the Vahi Tour of Homes. And you can see here that they actually linked out to Phoenix Renovation. So I can click on this page right here and see the link to Phoenix's website. So if I went to that page, you see it's right here. So there's a logo of Phoenix Renovations. And when someone clicks on it, it actually links to their page. So this is called a backlink because this is a link going to Phoenix Renovations' page. And this is basically showing to Google that this website is vouching for this website. And the more websites you have vouching for you, the likely you're going to show up higher on Google because Google now trusts you because other websites trust you enough to link your website on their website. So you can see that Phoenix Renovation has a decent amount of links. They have around 40 links. And what we're looking for is we only want to see the do follow links. No follow links basically mean that it's a link, but it doesn't really count. So I only want to care about the do follow links. And then Ahrefs has a nice feature here where you can go on non-spammy links. So I can see all the links that are not spammy. So we went from 40 all the way down to 10. So you can see that they have 10 good high quality links. And basically, if I was Phoenix Renovations, I want to get more links because the more links that I have, the higher that my score, the DR score goes up. Then the higher my DR score, the higher I'm going to show up on Google. So what I can easily do is just search the keyword that I'm trying to show up for, and I can just click on the website of my competitor, and I can copy this here and then paste it in. And then I can go through my competitor's backlinks. And then maybe if I find the backlink that my competitor has that could also apply to me, maybe I'm going to reach out and try to acquire that link for myself as well. So I'm going to apply the same filters. I'm going to go to do follow and then change the links from best of, and I'm going to change it to non-spammy links. So it's no coincidence that these guys show up first and they have way more links. You see these guys have 82, whereas Phoenix Renovation had around 10. So because they have more do follow non-spammy links, this is why they're able to show up. So the first link we see here is called onekindesign.com, and it seems that it's a page about fabulous screen porch ideas, and there is a link to their competition. So this is a link right here that takes the user to their competitor's page, and this is the backlink that is increasing the domain rating of this company right here. So what I would do if I was Phoenix Renovations is I would go through every single one of these links and basically ask myself, does it make sense for me to get a link from Timbertown or Waste Removal USA? If that link pertains to my business or my city, what I would do is I would open it, I would try to reach out to the website owner and maybe negotiate some deal where I can offer some money in exchange for being linked on a new or old blog on their website. By the way, if you're finding this helpful so far and you own a remodeling business and you want us to take care of all of this, the keywords and the backlinks, you can book a call with my team. And what we can do on the call is have your SEO be audited by our team, have us create a plan for you so you know what is required to get you showing up higher on Google and find a budget that works for you. We'd love to turn you into a case study and testimonial. So if you're interested, just book a call on the first link in the description below. So now we know what to do to have them show up higher on Google. They need to make more pages and they need to get more backlinks. But now I want to talk about the Google Maps section. So when someone searches for Atlanta home renovation, you see that this company, Phoenix Renovation, does not show up here at all. And this section corresponds to this section right here. So if this was number one, that means that if I am in this area and I search for Atlanta home remodeling company, then they will show up number one right here. Showing up here is super important and it's very, very powerful. And I can guarantee you that these companies that show up right here get a lot of leads, and that's how they're able to make anywhere from 2 to 5+ million per year, because they get an astounding amount of leads just from this. So this is the Google Map profile of Phoenix Renovation. You can see that they have only one review, which is one of the reasons I'm going to talk about as to why they don't show up. But they do have a physical address here, which is really good. Any Google Maps profile that has a physical address increases the likelihood of them showing up higher. So this is really, really good that they were able to do this. So if I was Phoenix Renovation and I'm trying to improve this score, one of the first things I would do is try to call all my old previous clients and have them leave a Google review on my Google business profile. This is super, super key to having this start to improve as soon as possible. It's no coincidence that the majority of the Google business profiles that show up high for home remodeling in Atlanta have an astounding amount of reviews. So we do have a lot of work to do. We need to get, around 190, 150 reviews just to show up top 3 in Atlanta. But I know that as soon as we show top 3 here, we're going to get a lot of leads and a lot of money. You're also going to see here that the businesses that show up on the top 3 have either the word remodeling or they sometimes have the word Atlanta in the name of their business, and it's no coincidence. So if you're able to add the word remodeling or Atlanta or home remodeling into the name of the business, this will actually have you showing up a lot higher. So that's actually one thing that you can do to improve these scores as well. I also see here that the photos on this Google business profile are not great. Like, these are just random in progress photos, which doesn't say much. So you need to ensure that all the photos that you have here are good, high quality photos of all your projects, which is and they had a lot of good photos on the website, so they can easily just add them here as well. And again, when I search for home remodeling in Atlanta, you're going to see that most people have an astounding amount of photos of just good quality projects, sometimes even videos as well. So you need to make sure that these photos are all really good, because people will be going through this as they try to find a local contractor to call or reach out to. Phoenix Renovation also has their primary category set correctly. So this is the primary category of the Google Maps profile. And you can see here that the majority of their competitors, so affordable, remodeling, first choice, and limitless, most of them, just these two, have general contractors. So you need to make sure that your primary category is lined up and is the same thing as your competitors. So in summary, if Phoenix Renovation is able to fix their Google Map profile and get a lot more reviews and show up higher on the Google Map section, I know that this is going to be one of the key factors to getting them making anywhere from 1 to 2 more million per year in revenue. And if they're able to add more content to their website, fix some of the core SEO issues, and make a lot more pages and gather backlinks, then they're going to show up here as well, which will contribute another maybe 1-2 million per year in just home remodeling jobs. If they were to just consistently gather reviews, fix their website, and just always get more backlinks, and they do it week in, week out, month after month, you're going to see that after maybe 1 year or 1.5 years of just continuously doing this, they're going to show up much higher, and they're going to be in a much better state in terms of lead flow compared to where they are right now. So I hope you found it useful of me going through a live example of a home remodeling website. If you have any questions, just leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer them, and I'll see you guys in the next one.